Hello and welcome to Sooner Sports Pad. We're live from inside Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma. And we have guests BJ Green and Agor DeWall with us in the audience tonight. I'm Abby Williams.
And I'm Britton Ross, ready to talk all things Sooner sports.
There's just a few games left for Sooner Hoops before March. We have how both squads are doing in conference play.
Plus, Oklahoma softball started their quest for an unprecedented fifth straight national championship.
And we have a sit-down interview later in the show with two members of the OU track squad. But first, let's kick off Sports Pad tonight with some men's basketball. OU hosted number 5 Tennessee Saturday morning, and it's safe to say they got Rocky-topped. The only player to score double digits was Jalen Moore with 12, but the Vols' accuracy was hard to beat, 60% from the field versus Oklahoma's 32. And Tennessee gets the win 70-52. Now, Selection Sunday is just 8 games away, and Porter Moser is trying to get OU back to their early success.
You just got to be, extremely tough. You got to tough. It's the fight that you have, and I know they're one of the best screening teams. They're just throwing screens and screens and screens. You still got to fight. We need depth. We need depth. We didn't have enough. I don't think enough guys that are capable brought everything they had today.
Well, this has happened every year under Porter Moser. They start off the season strong in the non-conference games, but like clockwork, they fall apart during conference play.
In 2024, the SEC gave out 8 NCAA tournament bids, tying their most ever. OU's currently 13th in the conference. I'll let you do the math on that. And I think it's safe to say the Sooners can go ahead and book their spring break plans now because they probably won't be playing come March.
Well, over on the women's side, Jenny Baranczyk's squad keeps making noise in conference play. OU hosted Auburn on Monday night, and it came down to the wire. Skylar Vann tied her season high with 20 points, and Peyton Verholst hit 2 clutch free throws with only 4 seconds left, putting the Sooners up 2, as we'll see here in just a moment. The Sooners just barely were able to cage the Tigers 73-71, improving to 6-5 in SEC play with an 18-6 overall record. Sooner Sports Pad reporter Emily LeBeth was there and breaks down the game.
It was all Sooners until the fourth quarter. A 10-point lead turned into a nail-biter when OU began turning the ball over and didn't make a single three from the side of the court I'm standing on. They squeaked out a win, but couldn't get the momentum going in the second half.
I want us to understand how good we can freaking be. What I don't understand is why, when things are going well and things work so well, the reason that we don't just keep doing it. And until we decide that we really want to be a great team, I don't know how to help us.
So I think we just got to stop being so tense when times get kind of tight and hard. If we do that, we're limiting turnovers easily when we're just playing and flowing.
OU wasn't with a complete team today as Reagan Beers sat out due to illness. The Sooners are hoping to have their leading scorer back soon, but they don't have a timeline on when she'll return. Reporting from the Lloyd Noble Center, Emily LeBeth, Sooner Sports Pad.
Thanks, Emily. When we come back, we've got a loaded show on some loaded bases. OU baseball opens up their season this weekend, and OU softball just got back from California. Stick around to see which Sooners saved the day when Gasso's girls found themselves in trouble.
Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad.
OU baseball has their opening series this weekend, and Sooner softball is already, no surprise on this one, a cool 6-0 on the season. Last game for Gasso's girls, things got a little scary for Sooner fans out in Long Beach, California, and it took 11 innings to determine a winner of this one. OU took on Long Beach State, and no one from either team could seem to get to home base. Now, finally, in the 11th inning, it was Abigail Dayton with the RBI double to put 1 run on the board, and Ella Parker's hit gave the Sooners an insurance run, winning 2-0. Now, even though it's been a less than ideal start, Patty Gasso is excited to coach her squad up.
My soul has been somewhat rejuvenated with really starting from ground zero with a very young group, but really excited. We've been working hard. I think we could all say we've been making mistakes, but they're valuable mistakes, so we learn from them. I'm ready to take this group on the road.
Look, I know OU has been the best team in college softball for the last 4 years, and they've made it look easy along the way. But this is a new team, and it might take a while for everything to fall into place for Patty Gasso's squad.
You know, Britton, if Long Beach State is causing this much trouble for OU, what's going to happen when they enter conference play? Sooner fans, you can hold me to this if I'm wrong, but I just don't see this team winning it all again.
Well, now let's switch from the circle over to the mound. Last season, the OU baseball squad finished with a 40-21 record, ending the season in a Game 7 against UConn at the Norman Regional. They came in second at their last Big 12 tournament at Globe Life Field down in Arlington, but OU has been investing in the fans this offseason. A new outfield patio called Section 405, new lodge boxes, renovated suites are just some of the things you'll find around L. Dell Mitchell Park this year. And with a new season and a new conference, Skip Johnson's team is ready for the new challenge.
In every big environment that they played in, they played really well. And I think you go to some of these SEC deals, it looks like Roy Noble out in the parking lot. I mean, there'll be barbecue pits going crazy. And it's exciting. It's just really exciting. I think they'll elevate their game. It'll help them prepare them for the next level.
The Sooners will have 8 conference series this year against teams that competed in the NCAA tournament last season, including 4 series against 4 of the last 5 national champions, LSU, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Vanderbilt.
And even though they have some tough competition, Sooner returners Kyson Witherspoon and Easton Carmichael were both named to the preseason watch list for the Golden Spikes Award. It goes to the best collegiate baseball player in the nation, meaning OU has a lot of promise entering their 2025 season. Well, coming off the mound, let's talk about another Sooner squad who's dominating their season. OU women's gymnastics hosted then number 8 Kentucky for a top 10 matchup. Taking the cake was junior Faith Torres, who won a trio of event titles, posting a 39.625 in the all-around, and Jordan Bowers stuck the landing on vault, earning a season-best 9.95. Now the Sooners go on the road to LSU, and KJ Kindler isn't worried about the jet lag.
I hate to say this, but we're better on the road than we are at home sometimes. The way that they kind of hone in on what they need to do and our schedule and all that allows. And we also know we have to be great when we're on the road. And I think that knowledge, I mean, they take that in and they know.
After falling short of the national championship last season, Coach Kindler has had her team on a roll. They're still undefeated with just over a month left in the regular season, and I can really see them making a deep run in the postseason.
Yeah, Britton, I'm going to have to agree with you on this one. The Sooners' performance in last year's NCAA semifinals was simply terrible, and not to mention completely uncharacteristic. As long as they keep up their current performance, they have a real shot at taking home the Natty.
We're going to tumble on down to McCaslin Fieldhouse, where the #1 ranked OU men's gymnastics squad hosted the 5-time defending champions Stanford Cardinal, as well as Greenville. Ignacio Yockers scored a season-high 14.650 on the pommel horse. Matthew Burgoyne set a career high on the rings with a 14.2. The Sooners beat both teams with a score of 329.1, outscoring Stanford by a quarter of a point and Greenville by over 20 points. OU keeps dominating their opponents and keeps their spot as the top-ranked team in the country. And now the Sooners have just one more home meet left this season. This Saturday, they'll host both Michigan and Simpson at 6 p.m., and they'll have an opportunity to have a perfect season at home this year.
Well, they won't be out of the clear just yet. Before the NCAA tournament, they have the Winter Cup, Nebraska, Cal, William & Mary, Greenville, and the MPSF Championship in Colorado when April rolls around.
And when we come back, our very own Brooke Griggs has an exclusive interview with 2 members from the OU track team. You won't want to miss it.
Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad. Let's hop right into this interview now and give it up for OU jumpers Agor Dewall and BJ Green. Agor is a junior from Denver, Colorado. She's ranked 3rd for jump in NCAA, both D1 and the SEC. She's also ranked top 10 in OU long jump history.
And BJ is a junior from Ruston, Louisiana. He's ranked 2nd for triple jump in the NCAA and the SEC. He is also a 2-time 2024 Big 12 champion. Brooke, take it away.
All right, well, thank you for joining us, guys. We're glad to have you here. Both of you have made remarkable achievements as Sooners here, you both are ranked 2nd and 3rd in indoor triple jump, and you also are ranked for NCAA Division I and the SEC. How does it feel to accomplish that at the collegiate level?
You got it. I guess for me, you know, it's always a good milestone when you sit at the top, you know, top of the country or in any position. So I think that it's just a testament of the work you've been putting in, and you know, got to keep going.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like coming out of high school and like when I got to college, I never like imagined me here. So it's just like the fact that I'm like really living my dreams out is like crazy to me.
Well, that is crazy, especially when you hit a PR last week. You had a long jump score of 16.18 meters, I heard, and then now you are top 10 for Oklahoma in that as well. What was going through your mind when you found out about that?
I'm not gonna lie, I was like, dang, I thought I could have jumped further, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, then next time you're gonna jump farther. That's all that means, right? And then I have to ask, so last year you qualified for the Olympic team trials. So what was that experience like for you? Because that's an amazing experience, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was lit. It was fun. Just being able to be there and to compete against, you know, pro athletes and other athletes and just learn. You know, overall though, I had fun. I had a good time, a good experience. So I think it was good.
The atmosphere was, I'm sure, amazing.
Yeah, the crowd was loud.
Yeah. Oh, I bet the crowd was insane. So also with jumping, I don't think people realize how much of technical skills it is. What are some key aspects that y'all really go into when trying to get better all around in your sport?
For the triple jump, everything starts with the approach. So, like coming down the runway, you got to make sure your sprint mechanics good. Yeah. You got to make sure you're in the proper position when you're coming out the board. Yeah. So sprinting plays a big part in jumping than a lot of people don't realize. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And what about you?
Yeah, exactly like he said. Like, I don't think people realize how much like running goes into jumping. Like, if you're not running properly, if you're not carrying speed through it, like you're not gonna go anywhere. So.
No. Yeah, it's a hard sport. I did it once, and I could not cycle. I was really bad at it, actually. So we don't need to bring that up. But I do have one more question for y'all. It's kind of a fun one. Do you have a superstition or a before meet thing that y'all like to do before going on that you're like, I need to get this done, or else it's gonna mess me completely up?
I mean, I guess I just gotta listen to a certain playlist. Like if I listen to this certain playlist, I know that I'm gonna be good for the rest of the day.
Right.
So
it's the music.
Yeah.
For me, I call my mom before I jump every time, and she'll like pray for me over the phone. So yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you guys for coming out. I've enjoyed my time speaking with y'all. So thank y'all very much.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Brooke, Agor, and BJ, and good luck with the rest of your season. Britton, we need to do a long jump competition on SportsPad or something, except I just don't think that'd be fair to you.
Abby, you're literally wearing heels right now. You're not beating anybody. So stick around because whenever we come back, we have even more Sooner sports coming at you right after this. Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad. Abby, our audience is making such a racket. I guess that means it's time to talk some tennis. Serve us up some stats on the women's squad.
Britton, at the ITA Indoor Regionals, National Indoors Friday, the Sooners took down number 6 UCLA 4-2. Then the very next day, they downed number 7 Michigan 4-3 to advance to the semifinals. Now, even though they fell to second-ranked Texas A&M yesterday, it was their only team loss all spring.
Well, now, on the other hand, the OU men's tennis team has been off to a strong start. They're sitting at 7-2 on the season. The Sooners are coming off a 4-0 loss at San Diego on Saturday, and now they get a break, and they won't be back until they host Arkansas on February 24th.
Now let's switch from the tennis court to the basketball court to talk about one future Sooner who's been dreaming of suiting up in the Crimson and Cream for years. Even though she's now official, there was never a doubt in her mind what school she'd be repping.
She's known since she was 4 years old. She wanted to go to Oklahoma.
And now the wait is nearly over.
It's something I've dreamed of since I was little, so it's like a dream come true, basically.
Bethany's 5-star point guard Keziah Lofton's been committed to the Sooners since 2022, but put the pen to paper on Wednesday to make it official.
It means a lot. I have a lot of family, a lot of extended family, and I'm just thankful that they all came and supported me. So,
as the number 2 player in Oklahoma and a back-to-back state champion, Lofton had tons of interest, but she's only had eyes for one team.
We have a good relationship with Jenny and all the girls. Went on our visit and met, Reagan, who's here now. We all had a little 80s theme party, played with Zaya, so she's a freshman. Kaya, who came in, she played with her growing up. So basically she's going in with friends. She joins former Bethany teammate Zaya Van on Coach Baranchek's squad, where her family is more than excited to watch their girl play.
I need tickets to the game. So, Coach, hear me out. Papa will need tickets to see his granddaughter play.
And now, with just a few months left at Bethany, she looks to lead the Broncos to one more state championship to make it a three-peat. Lofton says she's always known she wanted to be a Sooner, and now she's one step closer to suiting up in the crimson and cream. Reporting from Bethany, Oklahoma, Abby Williams, Sooner Sports Pad. Wow, I can't wait to watch her ball out on Jenny's team. Coming up next, get ready to watch 2 more Sooners compete.
Except this time, it's Abby and I. Stick around for everyone's favorite part of the show, Face Off.
Face Off.
Back to Sooner Sports Pad. It's now time for the best part of the show, Face Off. Britton and I will debate all things Sooner sports, and at the end, our audience will determine a winner. So let's start with our MVPs on the men's side. Britton, from past to present, which Sooner guy showed out this week?
Well, I'm going with the first quarterback drafted from Oklahoma to win a Super Bowl. And he won more than just the game. Former Sooner QB Jalen Hurts was named the Super Bowl MVP for his efforts in the big game on Sunday. He had nearly 300 total yards and 3 touchdowns in Philadelphia's blowout win over Kansas City.
Britton, I'll take your MVP and give you an All-Star. Hawks guard and former Sooner Trae Young was named an NBA All-Star, replacing the injured Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is his 4th All-Star selection after he was pretty upset over getting snubbed, rightfully so. Oh, and he's the Week 16 Eastern Conference Player of the Week.
Well, Abby, Trae Young hasn't even won his own conference yet. But what about over on the women's side? There have been plenty of good performances, so who do you have as your women's MVP of the week?
Britton, the shade is crazy, but you can't argue with this one. Ella Parker, the sophomore, was clutch in the Sooners trip to California. Just listen to these stats: 10 runs, 5 doubles, 1 home run, 8 RBIs, 3 walks, and 3 stolen bases. And she was named SEC Softball Co-Player of the Week, the first Sooner, by the way, to earn that honor.
Well, that's a decent pick, but not as good as mine. I'm taking Faith Torres. Against Kentucky on Friday, she won the all-around with a 39.625. She scored a 9.95 on the floor and a 9.975 on the vault. She led the Sooners to beat the Wildcats by over half a point, and she won her 2nd straight SEC Gymnast of the Week award.
Okay, Britton, calling Ella Parker a decent pick is crazy work. She's literally the SEC Softball Player of the Week. But Sooner squads all over have been getting wins, so which one deserves to be your team of the week?
I'm going to go with men's gymnastics because they just beat the number 3 ranked Stanford Cardinals Saturday night in McCaslin Fieldhouse. They kept the number 1 ranking for the 3rd straight week. The Sooners are ranked in the top 5 in all 6 events and leads the country on the floor, rings, and horizontal bar.
Britton, let's be for real here. There are literally 12 Division I men's gymnastics schools. Let's talk about a team who faces a challenge every week and wins every single time. The women's gymnastics squad took down 8th-ranked Kentucky, and they're also ranked number 1 out of 62 teams.
Okay, you're just copying me picking a number 1 ranked gymnastics team. But Abby, with all the events that are going on for the Sooners, what are you keeping your eyes on this week?
Britton, on Friday, OU baseball opens their season against Lehigh here in Norman. We get our first look at the 2025 squad, and who doesn't love sitting out at L. Mitchell Park, snacking on peanuts and watching the Sooners? I'll be watching this series and looking forward to seeing OU play all season long.
Well, that's another mid-pick, Abby, but I'm going to go with the All-Star Sooners. You mentioned Trae Young earlier. I'm watching out for him in the All-Star game, and we'll see what he can do with the new format for the All-Star weekend. But also, former Sooner Buddy Hield will be participating in the 3-point contest this year.
All right, Britton, I think our audience has heard enough from you at least. But But now it's time for them to decide a winner. So if you think it was me, let me hear ya.
Oh, y'all can do better than that. Go again. Come on.
All right, now if you think I won, let me hear it.
I think it's pretty clear I'm the winner for this one. Thanks for watching Sooner Sports Pad. I'm Abby Williams.
And I'm Britton Ross. Watch Sooner Sports Pad, same place, same time next week. Good night.
Yeah!